Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I hope you are doing well. In our previous playlist, we talked about basics of chemistry based on grade 9 syllabus. Following the same pattern, we are starting a new playlist of basics of physics of the same grade. So, today we are going to introduce you with simplest type of motion known as linear motion. The ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle had the point that all objects have a natural place, like heavy objects wanted to be at rest on the earth, and the light objects like smoke wanted to be at rest in the sky, and the stars wanted to remain in the heaven. He thought that a body is in its natural state when it is at rest, and an external agent is needed to keep a body in constant motion. Otherwise, the body will remain to its natural state. It was Newton who first proposed the laws of motion in 1687 in his well-known book The Principia. In physics, motion is a phenomenon in which an object changes its position over time. Motion is mathematically described in terms of displacement, distance, velocity, acceleration, speed, and time. We will discuss all of these terms one by one in our upcoming episodes. Basically, four types of motion are found in the nature: linear motion, circular motion, rotation, and vibration. Today we will only discuss linear motion. If an object is moving from point A to point B without taking any turn, it is known as linear motion. So, if an object goes from point A to point B and comes back from point B to point A, it is still a linear motion. But if an object goes from point A to point B without taking any turn, and then he takes a turn and goes to point C without taking any turn between point B to point C, in this case, motion between point A to point B and point B to point C is a linear motion, but the motion between point A to point C is not a linear motion. Simple enough, linear motion is anything that moves in a straight line without taking any turn between two points. To explain this motion mathematically, we need to understand the origin, distance, and displacement. We will use these terms in our upcoming episodes for a better understanding. Initial point. The starting point of any motion is known as the initial point of the motion. This is also known as the origin. Final point. The end point of any motion is known as the final point. Distance. Total length of path traveled by the object is called distance. Displacement. The separation between initial and final point of the motion is known as a displacement. For a better understanding, let's take an example. Let's suppose an object is moving from point A in a straight line 20 meters to a point B. Now goes back on the same path 5 meters closer to point A and stops there. Let's name this point C. In this motion, point A is the initial point C is the final point. Total distance traveled is the length of path traveled by the object, which is distance from point A to point B plus distance from point B to point C, which is equal to 25 meters. Total displacement is the separation between initial and final point of the motion, which is separation between point A to point C. This separation can be calculated as separation between point A and point B minus separation between point B to point C, which is equal to 15 meters. So this was the basic introduction of motion and linear motion. In our next episode, we will talk about how the motion is related to time. For more information about this or any episode of this series, check out the blog. Link is in the description. We have additional contents, further readings, and transcripts of every show. Thank you for coming to the channel and watching the video. I hope you loved the show.